Speaking of Hong Kong, you run Gravity Partnership, your architect firm.
Yeah.
This morning I saw the new skyscraper you're working on in Chengdu. Looks amazing. You're also quite instrumental in drafting the plans to build a new race circuit in Hong Kong. And you did the press conference, and I think it was maybe 3 or 4. Was that 16 or 17? I think, or maybe 2018. How are the plans? How's the progress going for building this new circuit in Hong Kong?
It's not easy. It's not easy because land cost in Hong Kong is just ridiculous. And to build a proper circuit, you need at least 80 hectares of land. And 80 hectares will create a lot of noises in Hong Kong. People will start thinking that, oh, what else can we do with 80 hectares worth of real estate? Can we build more housing? Can we build something else that will create jobs and stuff? So it's up to us, the team, to educate the government what it means to build a circuit in Hong Kong. It's not only a playground for the elite, but it actually provides jobs, tourist industry. If you hold international races, and it's still going on. I will be very happy if there will be a circuit before I turn 80 years old.
Surprised as well?
Yes.
But was there not a piece of land already targeted when you guys made the big announcement?
Yeah, and it's still the same target because that piece of land is perfect. It's right across from Disneyland, from Disney.
Oh, wow.
That land, it's reclaimed. It cannot build. You cannot have housing over it. There's because it's on the flight path to the airport. There's a certain height restriction as well. So it's perfect. It's a bit small. It's a bit undersized, but it's perfect. The location is perfect. It's a bit off the city. It's very close to the airport. There's a lot of hotels around it. It's around an entertainment, like recreation hub, like Disney and so we're still working on it, but with the new government, the new administration, actually tomorrow, I hope that they will listen more. I hope the dialogue will continue. So there are always a team of people, passionate people who wanting this to happen. So whatever I can do, I would do on a heartbeat.
Is it going to be government owned, or are you looking for private investment?
There's no plan, so everything is flexible. The government can supply the land, and I'm sure there will be people like jumping into the investment because it's really a no-brainer.
Right.
It'd be like building a shopping mall, and then all your tenant is already signed up for. Right.
The government's controlling the land, and it's up to them to release it or sell it or lease it to whoever is going to take on the project. But first, you've got to convince the government that the circuit is the best option to utilize that land.
Yes, and they have done a study on it. But then it will be like meetings after meetings and after meetings, and then there will be public poll opinions, and you have to prove your own worth, so to speak.
It's hard because this has happened a few times in Singapore and Malaysia. It's part of convincing the government or the landowner that a circuit's not going to make tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars every year, but it's still going to be utilized 100% of the year, and it's going to develop the huge community of automotive and motorsport. And I think that's been the issue with Singapore, because I remember since 2007, it's like every 3 to 5 years, the Singapore Sports Council will say, "Oh, we might have a circuit." And I think the last serious bid was around the 2011, 2012 time, where the investment was there. Singapore had the money. I think the land was ready down in Changi, but
Hmm.
then the government and the powers that be have this thing stuck in their head that you touched on earlier, that motorsports, motorsport teams, promoters must be worth millions and millions and millions, and we should be making tens of millions of dollars. But that's not really the case, is it? You're not going to be making huge amounts of money owning and running a circuit.
Well, Hong Kong is quite unique in this sense. I think I'll give you some example. I won't name names, but say a major manufacturer who um, is launching a new product, a new car. They could rent a venue in Hong Kong over a weekend from Friday to Sunday and will pay about 3 million euros for
Wow.
that event
Okay.
to build the kiosk, the track, whatever. Um, Imagine if you had a circuit. In the pit building, you already have the VIP lounges.
Mm.
You already have the pit building. You know, you can have the test drives, right? It will be filled every single weekend.
Yeah.
If not, you can have bicycle races, right? Cycling
Yeah.
events. You can have marathons. You can have a part of a school, a university in engineering, mechanical engineering on site, right? And that's just to name a few. So I think Hong Kong is quite unique in that sense because you can have like motorsport conventions and all this stuff, or even automobile conventions,
Yeah.
um, and not only for the racing. I think the track days will be booked
Oh yeah.
years in advance.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I mean, well, 100% of all the members of every single supercar club in Hong Kong and southern
yeah,
China, they're all
yes,
for it.
that's right, that's
But I
right.
mean, Sepang is fully booked. What, 340 out of 360 days a year?
Yeah,
It would be the same for Hong Kong, I suppose.
can you imagine? Hong Kong is tax free. If you keep a track car, if you keep a track car or even a road car, if you don't register it for road use, you can keep it in Hong Kong for free, basically.
Oh, right.
You don't have to exit, okay?
Ah,
And if you have a storage area on site, people can just come to Hong Kong and enjoy the rides
hmm.
365 days a year. So there's a lot of advantages in Hong Kong. Um, so I think um, there is a lot of educating needs to be had,
Hmm.
um, but slowly and slowly, bit by bit, I think we will get there eventually, hopefully.
Is there a team? Is there a consortium of motorsport participants like yourself who are as one entity that are that keep knocking on the door and trying to educate the local government and try and push this forward, or is it at the moment all spread around and whatever happens happens?
There's been a couple of entities who's been quite active, um, and but as far as a very very focused group, like I want a circuit group,
Yeah.
does not exist. But I think it should. We should put everyone together and but a professional team in different areas, like accounting, planning, construction, uh, motorsport promotion, in automotive. It
Yeah.
really can represent this project to be on board.
Yeah, it's more than just having the community sign petitions and say
Yeah,
yes, we want this, right? There's got to be. I suppose the government actually has to see the tangible support there. I mean,
yeah.
what if there was? I mean, you're you're one of the most connected men in Asian motorsport. What about getting all the race promoters together and the team owners and all the VIPs together to show the government that, look, Asian motorsport is strong, and it could be so much beneficial to not only Hong Kong but the industry around the whole region as a whole.
Well, Hong Kong is quite behind in this sense because um, you look at um, you look at uh, um, Singapore, our neighboring countries, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia. Forget about Japan. Japan is way ahead.
Yeah.
Um, China, Indonesia now, they all have their own circuits.
Yeah.
And Hong Kong, to claim that they are international city, is not international at all in this sense.
Right. Right.
So I think it's time to have a discussion. At least don't reject the idea. If you will just listen, and then we can try to work things together, maybe maybe something good will come out of this.
Hmm.
And you mentioned that get people in motorsport uh, together. Um, I think this is what the government don't want to hear. It's
Oh, okay.
building a circuit this size. It's for a focused group of people, right? I heard in one of the meetings that why are we building a circuit? Uh, it's just catering for these elite rich people to have another playground, and it's quite simple. I told them, look, if you do some research, how much money people spend in motorsport, and if you think that the quote unquote the rich people uh, are limited to where they are, you're very wrong. As a matter of fact, if you don't have the venue for them, they will just spend the money elsewhere, right?
Right.
You don't have a racetrack in Hong Kong. All right, I'll go racing in Japan. I'll keep my cars in Japan, keep my teams in Japan, and I'll just do the racing there. So actually, you're losing their money. But if you have a venue here, they will spend the money here instead.
Yeah.
So there's no limit to what the people they want. You have money, you have choice, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to do it in Hong Kong if you don't have it. I'll do it in Japan. I'll do it in Europe. I fly to Europe.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like you said, the circuit is a multifunctional venue, and it doesn't have to be purely something with an engine. Right? It could be
Correct.
anything. I mean, there could be a
Correct.
multi-sports venue there that caters to swimming and track and field as well.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Hello, motorsport fans. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and like this video so we can keep the channel going.